of these troubled times, our fifth objective, a new world order, can emerge.
Live from a bunker in Greenwood, deep down below the Earth's crust, so deep that we have a wiretap on the aliens in the hollow Earth. This is This Week in Conspiracy. My name is Justin.
And I'm Brad.
And like always, we got Ashley, the president of the Chick-fil-A fan club. How was your week, Ashley? I don't think you had quite a good one, I don't believe.
It could have been better.
Did you have, I think you have to make a trip to the doctors this week? You turn the faucet on.
I had to piss in a cup.
Why? Drug test?
No, because I don't know. I guess I have a UTI or something. Or a full-blown bladder kidney infection.
MRSA.
It might be. I found out that that's a thing, and I already have MRSA issues as it is.
You're not going to give us MRSA, are you?
Better not.
No, I don't have skin MRSA right now. We're good. But,
herpes sores.
Jesus. I don't have herpes.
All right.
Would you pee on yourself?
I might have accidentally spilled the cup in my underwear. Like a little bit of it. And then I had to wear my pissy underwear all day.
Oh, that's a bummer.
You should always carry a bag with you so you get like extra gear.
I know, but
As much as you drive, you should have like a gear bag.
Well, in my Mustang, I did, but now that I have this new car, I never put anything new
Right,
like, in
so
it.
you carried a gear bag in your Mustang where there's zero room, and no gear bag in your Jeep.
You would be surprised what you can fit in that Mustang.
Well, I know what I would have done. I would just push the ceiling towel up and throw it up on top of the ceiling towel.
These are good. They don't make those underwear anymore. I wasn't getting rid of those. Those were like nice green pair.
Oh, okay. Well, now we're getting too deep.
Enough.
Yeah.
Enough. So we had a good interesting week this week, right?
Yes, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, when I was listening to Grind America this week, and they had Matt DeMille on, and I also listened to Tinfoil Hat. I can't remember the girls' names. One was like Human Vibration, I think what her name was. But I think they may have me about 50% back on Q.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. But not so much. QAnon, yeah. Not so much of like indictments and, the perp walks, but the girls came up with this theory
Maria
777. Yes.
All right.
Yeah. They came up with a theory that they believe that there's a supercomputer in Texas. I think they said the name was Travis. And it's communicating with a oh no.
Ooh.
Oh boy. A supercomputer in the future. And they think that the Anonymous. They think Anonymous was a failed attempt to wake people up. And that this isn't QAnon wasn't about perp walks and arresting people. It was about waking more people up, leading us to a Great Awakening. Which, now that they say that, there's more of my friends are like, hey, what do you think about this?
I like when my 75-year-old aunt is like, hey, I saw this thing, and what do you think about this Bill Gates guy who wants to kill everybody in the world through injections and stuff? And I'm like, yeah, that's like 20 years old,
Right, yeah. Well, if you think about it, there is people walking away from things. The Golden Globes are canceling because, they're getting woke cultured, but because they said there's no black members of their foreign press. But look at the Oscars; it was down to 8 million people when it's normally above 20.
Yeah, I think it was 9. I think it was 9, a little over 9 million, and last year it was 29 million.
Yeah,
28 or something like.
It's years past. It's been it's 50. It almost rivals the Super Bowl, but not quite as many.
Right, and if you think about it, what else is there to do but watch TV? Right. But everything Netflix is down.
Yeah.
The NBA playoffs are down 45% year over year from last year. I'm a big baseball fan. I think I've listened on the I quit watching it because I don't have cable. But
what a cheat.
I know. But I haven't even listened to a baseball. Maybe one.
Yeah.
Maybe one whole game I listened to.
Right. No. And look, it's almost like right now with Bill Gates getting divorced, they're kind of pushing him out there and burying him.
Yeah, almost like he's the hatchet man.
he's not the golden boy no more.
Right.
He has. I don't know if it's something he said, but I definitely know that people are don't like him anymore.
Well, yeah, and people are starting to wake up, like the Epstein stuff with
Right.
him.
Yep.
And then like I watched a couple interviews with him where he like let stuff slip that I don't think he was supposed to say, and like tried to like laugh it off, like, oh yeah, we control the world population through vaccines.
Yeah, like that little stick, that little.
I mean,
yeah.
The only thing that would have been better is if he was like, and like twisted his mustache or whatever.
Well, that's what I was talking to my friend the one day. He was like, Bill Gates. I was like, take pictures of the old Nazi, Nazi officers,
Nazi about.
and hold him up next to them.
Yeah.
It's oddly.
Yeah,
like his haircut, and it's like an odd haircut. It looked like he put a bowl in his
head. He was
head.
like the outcast. Like, we'll go back to watching Hitler's inner circle of evil.
Right.
They were all like the outcasts, except for like Goering, who was like the war hero from World War I, who was like so badass when they told him he was supposed to turn all the planes over to the Allies at the end of World War I. He literally stole all the planes, him and his crew, and flew them and wrecked them in Germany so that we couldn't have them.
Didn't he crash them in Berlin?
Yeah, I think he crashed his plane in Berlin.
Yeah, but he was a friend with aristocrats, like the upper echelons of the society. Right. But like Bill Gates, you know what he looks like? I just thought of this. He looks like Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber, except he has all his teeth.
Yeah.
He has that stupid bowl cut.
And like it doesn't help that I don't understand why billionaires like act like the way they do. Like Elon Musk is a little weird and out there.
Yeah, but I watched that SNL. I think that's an act.
Yeah, I think he's a CIA plant.
He might be.
Dudes like that just don't become funny overnight.
Right.
And he's always been weird and awkward, then all of a sudden he's funny.
Yeah, it's not so much that he wasn't that much I wouldn't call him traditionally funny, but like he wasn't uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I've been around nerdy type dudes that are smarter than everybody. They're usually not.
They're socially awkward.
They're not comfortable with like jokes. They don't get them.
Right.
Which is, I'm not saying that's just a different. It's like
that's why they're billionaires, because they don't screw up.
Yeah, they don't have like that stupid street smarts where they're like, yeah, you didn't know that, stupid, you know, and they call each other names.
Yeah, or like shoot nail guns at each other and chuckle the whole time, you know.
Yeah, shoot paper clips. Stab each other in the eyes.
Right. They're sitting there studying astrophysics, and we're like shooting nail guns at each other.
Right. No, but I think he lost his shine and he's done. So.
Yeah. They hatcheted him, and I think they're getting ready for like a new breed, like the AOCs and
the better looking.
Right. And that's what like Pelosi's gonna go out. Right. And like the AOCs and the squads are going to come in. They're the new.
Well, that's what we're talking today. Maybe that is what the new reset is. Like we are all worried it's about this new Green New Deal, which will be part of it. But I think it's more
replacing the old guard,
and moving in better. You know, more. Right. They're not necessarily better,
because eating kids only like prolongs life so long.
Well, they don't actually eat the kids; it's the blood.
Yeah, they just drink their blood.
You mean a crow?
Poor Prince Philip.
Yeah, they're all weird, dude. I mean, you got a prince come. You know, you have the prince come over to America because he doesn't like the stiflingness of being around the crown, and then he comes over here and is like, I don't understand why y'all have the First Amendment. Like, hey, dude, I don't know, but stick your head down in this musket barrel. Let me show you what happens.
That's the Second Amendment.
Yeah,
we're going to introduce the 1 and 2 right away.
Yeah. Right up to you.
Well, talking about Bill Gates, I think we have a new Bill Gates.
Our new Bill Gates.
Yeah,
anyway. Definitely.
And she's very hateable. And it's.
I don't even know what it is. Like,
I think
if I saw her picture, I wouldn't be like, wow, I want to punch that woman. Like, if I see Pelosi,
yes,
I want to punch her face.
Yes.
If I see AOC, I want to punch her face in. If I see this lady, I'm like, whatever. She just looks like a
regular lady.
Yeah, just like a regular lady.
But
and then you do a little research.
Oh, do a lot of
do some research. But yeah, and then listen to her voice.
Her voice is what kills me. Mm-hmm. But the research, I was doing some research, and guess what? She was the president of Planned Parenthood.
Which makes absolute sense why she wants everybody to go out and get
a eugenics shot. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I don't want to get sued for for anything. But here, I got a clip from her this week on CNN. Here, I'll play it and we'll listen.
Thanks. I'm punch my face in.
Well, I liked that part of what she had to say because I do think that we need to send the very clear message that vaccination is your ticket back to pre-pandemic life. But frankly, I was shocked by this announcement. I think they went from one extreme to another. And the major step that's missing here is...
What she's talking about?
Mask.
Well,
Wearing the mask.
Well, I should have set this up. What she's talking about is the CDC came out and said about taking the mask off.
Right.
Now she's freaked out.
Yeah. You know what I always wondered? Like, why the 4 doctors that they put on TV are, like, absolute 100%, but, like, the hundreds of doctors who come out with other things, they're like, well, they're all kook bags. Every single one. We haven't treated a patient in 30 years because we work for the government. But those 100 doctors that are doing it every day, they're the kook bags.
Here, I'll continue the video. Here.
They can fully let down their guard. I wasn't expected to hear essentially that indoor mask mandates can all go because that's what the CDC is saying. They're saying we don't need indoor mask mandates anymore.
So what the CDC is saying is we don't need mask mandates anymore.
Only if you're fully vaccinated.
Only if you're fully vaccinated. I think I screwed up the video a little bit.
Because Fauci come out today and was like, I think people were misinterpreting things. No, dick.
Yeah.
We just don't wear masks.
Well,
We've never worn masks. We're not wearing masks now.
There's a guy who want to punch the face when he says.
Yeah.
But like, she was like, at one point there, it didn't play. I screwed it up. But it basically says, like, if there's no one to check everybody if they had the vaccine, how are we going to know who's vaccinated? Because no one's going to follow the rules.
Right.
And she said, how can I take my 4-year-old daughter to the store around these people that aren't masked? And she might get COVID.
Keep her at home.
Keep her at home. Why, like, the whole
Get her
country
Doesn't revolve around you.
Yeah, right. Why is the whole country being prison so you can run around and you act like it's normal when everybody else just wants to be free?
Well, it was like that
freedom isn't free, man.
That thing we posted on our Instagram from Canada where they were like, there were 24,000 COVID deaths. Now, I'm just throwing numbers out. These aren't the exact numbers. I'm not quite sure. But there were like 24,000 deaths from COVID from March of last year through May of this year.
In Canada.
In Canada. And 28,000 normal deaths.
Well, it was 28,000 deaths by medical mistake.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
By
medical
doctor,
mistake. Yeah. And so that's not counting the
That's
COVID.
doctor error.
That's not counting the COVID deaths because you refuse to give them the drugs that we've had for 50 years.
Now, here's another thing I'm going to say this thing. I don't know the exact numbers either, but I read an article that said in August to October, there was like a 2% rise in deaths in hospitals because that's when they start initiating new doctors.
Because they graduate.
They're new doctors and they make errors.
Right.
Some of these people
That's why it's called practicing.
But some of these people are going to die.
Right.
You can manipulate numbers wherever you want. So it could have been like a 90-year-old man would have lived another month.
Right. And this isn't Obama. Remember when he came out and said, you go in to get your tonsils out, they cut your foot off. Remember what he said?
Yeah, because that happens every day.
Yes. Because not only is that 2 totally separate and different doctors that do that, because we're friends with like a foot surgeon. Yeah. She's a specialist. Like to take a foot off.
Well, she does tonsil work too.
On the side.
On the side.
Yeah.
Only when they need a little extra.
Well, then
money.
there's the little spinny white thing out. She has red bandages on outside her office in practice. She cleans teeth as well and cuts hair.
Yeah, cuts hair, barber and all. She does it all.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. I hate to be like, oh, your grandfather died a month early, and be like, oh, blow it off. It's not great. It's not a good thing, but stuff happens.
Yes, and let's face it, when they get to that end portion of their life, like the last 6 months, it's usually not good anyway.
Right.
Especially for older people. We knew it. We know it's coming. They're usually not. They're in pain. They're getting pumped full of drugs to keep them just sedated and out of pain. Going a month early, probably a better thing for that person. Not for the family.
For the person
who's laying there in pain.
At the same time, though, it's going through death. It's better for the family, too, especially if they're not having a life anymore.
Right.
It's suffering. Anybody dealt with death before. It's a sad thing. It's like You don't want the person to die.
Yes.
That's your selfishness in a way.
Yes, that's your selfish.
I mean, it's not your selfish, but it's, you know it.
Yeah,
You know,
and it's weird because like the older people, when you're around them, they know.
they know.
They know, and they're like, I just want I'm done. Like I lived a long life. I know I went through.
You're tired.
everything. Yeah, I'm retiring,
Yeah, you're done.
and I'm tired.
And you know, like our grandfather passed away this year. I say COVID killed that poor man, not because he had COVID, because he couldn't leave his house. He followed the rules. He wouldn't leave his house. He stayed at home. And there's a lot of people like that. I talked to a lot of, families that said, my grandmother wouldn't leave the house, and she lived an extra 2 months, but I never got to. She never saw my grandkids.
Right, she had to look through the window at them.
Yeah, and it's like, what is better?
Right. Well, and that's how like I kind of lived this whole past year, and like I tried to tell people like, because I'm a religious man, COVID or no COVID, like I'm going when it's my time.
There's nothing to stop.
Right. Me sitting in my house in absolute fear and not seeing anybody, ain't gonna stop the day that I'm meant to die.
Right.
Like God knows when I'm gonna die. He's already written that in his little binder. I'm guessing. Like he's probably got a big 3-ring binder up there. He's like thumbing through it.
It's like that's tomorrow.
Licking his finger.
He's like,
oh no, he's got 4 extra days.
Then he listened to our podcast. He's like, Brad's today.
I like. Or is he like, you know what?
I'm a fan.
I like this guy. Let's just chill. Let him chill.
Yeah.
Right.
No, but
man, we got off like late. The doctor from CNN.
Well, but I was gonna
punchable face.
Yeah. But I was gonna say though, even if you're not religious, it's still you're not getting out here alive.
Right.
So your days are numbered already. So if you're gonna sit in your house, all afraid.
Yeah,
what
life is that?
Yeah, that's no life.
I mean, you can only watch Friends like so many times through before you're like,
well, eventually you're just a meat sack.
Pivot.
Well, it's like that movie, that stupid cartoon with the robot that goes down and cleans up. What's that called? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But all those people are just sitting on a boat, not doing anything.
Right.
In space.
In a spaceship.
Yeah, they're just sitting there.
Yeah.
Who wants to live like that?
Right.
I'd rather just be out. Hey, just like.
Go ahead.
What's the quarterback from Minnesota? Kurt
Warner?
No.
Cousins.
Kurt
Cousins. Yeah.
Kurt Cousins. He says, "If I die, I die."
Yeah, he didn't care. He has got a big beard and stuff too. Yeah,
I like that. It was like I was walking around the Vikings jersey all year.
Yeah.
If I die, I die.
You know what? But like, I know we're gonna be transitioning here to COVID full time here in a second. But before we do. Because we're still early in this. We forgot to do a couple things.
Oh, my goodness. Yes, we forgot
to plug. But more importantly, Sam, if you're listening.
Is that Sam? Who's his name? What was his name, Ashley?
Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to use his last name, dude. He's going to know who we are.
All right, sorry,
Sam.
He
listens.
Sam, Ashley, edit that out.
Can you put a bleep in
I don't
that?
know if I can put a bleep, but I'll try.
Just
so Sam. We got your message.
Yeah.
And like honestly, we're printing it out. We're gonna frame it and we're gonna hang it up like it's our first dollar bill because you were the first one who cared enough
to send us anything.
And we appreciate it.
No, we're gonna make one of those tiles. Those picture tiles, and we'll hang it up. So it's permanent. Then we don't have to work, we can just dust it off.
Right. So I have to pull it up. But we're going to read your comment online, and while I'm looking for it, we're going to go ahead and let JB plug our things.
Good news is that was not his last name anyway.
I figured it was like a thing,
right?
Well, we can't just sit here and watch Brad do that. I'm going to plug This Week in Conspiracy on Instagram. Follow us, DM me, we'll read that. I'll follow you back if you follow us. Send us something. Send us, DM us stuff. We have This Week in Conspiracy at Gmail. Send us a note. We'll read it. We'll read it on thing. We'll mention your full name and address on here.
Just dox them.
We'll dox you right here. Right here.
We would totally be liberals and just dox you right out in the open.
And Ashley, what's our Twitter?
_conspiracy.
Okay, am I missing anything? We have anything else? Oh, no.
Our Facebook page.
Our Facebook page is This Week in Conspiracy.
Well, our tech goddess handed me something, but it's just like there's nothing there.
I straight up handed you.
Oh, wait.
She's not a tech artist.
Oh, I got it.
She's our Facebook phenom.
Oh, Facebook phenom.
But we also have, if you get on Spotify and you click on the more one under the description, you can hit a thing that goes to Anchor. You can record us a live voice message. We can play it.
I can figure that out, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, we just play it off the phone or something if we have to for the first time. But send us a message and a voicemail and see. Who cares? Call us stupid. Call Ashley a redhead stepchild or a shitty ass dirtball. I don't care.
We will actually laugh very hard at that.
Yeah, I forgot to call Ashley shitty ass dirtball, so we just did.
Yeah. SADB.
SADB.
We're gonna have shirts soon.
Yeah,
just
listen.
SADB.
Comment on Facebook or Instagram. Would you wear a SADB T-shirt?
No.
Yeah, maybe we'll post.
I'll put an Instagram up of the design.
A little bit of a design or something. Yeah. Okay, so Sam.
It'll be a SADB with an imprint of Ashley's ass.
or Pete underpants.
Yeah, we'll mail you. Hey, listen, for the right amount of money.
Not even shitty ass turbo anymore. It's
pissy ass underwear.
All right.
P.A.U. Hey, listen, if you want Ashley's pissed underwear.
She ain't getting rid of them. They don't make them.
They don't make them anymore. They're the nice
email us directly, and for the right price, Ashley will ship them without cleaning them.
I thought getting rid of those nice underwear. I'll have to pee a new one.
All right. Ashley will pee in different ones. We'll move on. We'll pee.
Hey, listen, we can start a whole business of pissy underwear.
Oh, crap.
We'll call this podcast This Week in Pissy Underwear.
All right. We're getting off topic.
I'm
here.
sorry.
All
All right.
So we pitched everything. We had a good laugh. Sam hit us up on Facebook. He said he tried to find our Insta but couldn't. So
I don't
you
know
can
why.
ask the tech goddess. She didn't do anything right. I'd be interested in hearing if you guys have any opinion on ways to make positive improvements in the topics you discuss. With elections coming up, there could be a lot of questions affecting local small businesses. Keep up the good work. Peace out. All right, so.
Well, the first thing I'd like to say, he thinks we do good work.
Yeah, good work.
So
He said, thank you.
I do. I thank him
Thanks,
for that.
Sam.
Thank you for your, if you do listen, thank you very much. And I really appreciate you getting at us on Facebook.
He probably said that just to be nice.
Yeah, here's the deal. Obviously, always support small business. And we always end with that.
Yeah.
Support your local businesses. Those are the guys that spend the money in your community. They're the guys that put money back into your community. They're the guys that employ your neighbors. So anytime you can, you should always buy local.
And then even if you don't have a lot of small, restaurants and stuff, look at the franchises that are owned by a local person.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of McDonald's are owned by local people and stuff. I mean, not to love McDonald's, but just that was my example of franchises or something. They're owned by local people.
Right.
Use them before you go to a giant corporate conglomerate that doesn't give any money to your community.
Yeah. Now, as far as things that we can do, I'm almost to the point I don't know if there is anything we can do. I mean, we watched what happened in January, where we all know we went to bed at 3 a.m. Well, I went to bed at 1 a.m, and I took screenshots where the President of the United States was up big in so many states. I woke up the next day to realize that sometime in the middle of the night, miraculously, for the first time in my life, the opponent went straight up and overtook the current sitting president. Now, also with that, if you look historically, Trump took, there's 15 to 18 counties that every president in the United States of America to ever win took at least 15 of the 18. Trump took all of them and lost. He took Ohio and Florida. Nobody's ever won the presidential election without taking Ohio and Florida. He won Ohio and Florida. So I can't prove anything. The Supreme Court won't look at it. They were flat out refused to tell me whether or not this was an up and up election. So I'm not even sure I'm voting anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't as far as how do we fix this? I guess maybe local.
That's what
Start local.
Yeah.
Your school board, run for school board, speak out at your school board meetings.
Yeah, go for a county supervisor,
City council, stuff like that.
Run for sheriff. If you're
sheriff.
You
The
can always
most
write me in.
powerful elected person in the United States is your local sheriff.
Right, he controls a lot of stuff that people don't even understand.
No, if you have a good, strong local sheriff, they can't really do anything to you.
Right, no. And talk to your neighbors. Start making communities. Go to even if you're not religious, like go to you don't have to go to a church, but like go to a church-like group.
Yeah. Don't sit in your backyard. Sit in your front porch like they used to do.
Yep.
Talk to your neighbors. Wave to your neighbors. Like the stuff that the media pumps out every day is not America.
No.
Like we all don't want to punch each other's face in.
Except if you're on TV.
Unless, no, the only people that want to get punched, like I want to punch out, are the people on TV telling lies.
Yeah, no, that's it. Go, like you said, go. If you have a pick, like there's a town festival, go to it. Make friends. Talk to people. Start a group.
Here's the thing. I think when it all boils down to it, we're all not that different. We have more things in common than we have against each other.
Yeah.
Like, I live in a development, and like my neighbors voted for this senile old weirdo, but like we're still friends. I mean, I know they voted to ruin the country and destroy everything in it, but and like I really haven't talked to them honestly since.
But you're still friends
then. But I'm telling you, if I walk out here today and see my neighbor getting pummeled by some dude, I'm gonna step in and help my neighbor. Right. As much as I hate the fact that he voted for the idiot, I'm not going to just let him get beat up. So, I mean, I think we have to find some sort of common ground together. And, like, you got to start local. If you don't start local, like, all this stuff they put on the news and everything they talk about, all that is to do is to divide us and keep us fighting amongst ourselves while they become the rich upper class.
Right. No, if we take over local government, this isn't a Democrat Republican thing. This is just people that think what's best for for everybody. Like
like our kids should be learning 1 + 1 = 2.
Right.
Not, well, show me how you got there.
But you take over.
We're falling behind.
Right. You take over your local government first, and then you make your you fix yourself first.
Right.
Then
fix
yourself.
Then your neighbors.
Then your neighbors.
Then you work with your neighbors.
Then your neighbors work with the community. The community works with the county. The county works with the state.
Stop voting these big rich dudes that don't know how you live into office.
There's guys that don't even know how to use credit cards or money. They don't even know how to pump gas.
They don't know how to pump gas.
They don't know how to drive.
I mean, remember when they made fun of Romney because he didn't understand the push button ordering system? Yeah, because that's what happens when you elect rich people.
Yeah, they're oligarchs.
Yeah.
They have no clue what anybody.
They've lived off the government forever.
Anytime
they become rich.
Anytime you get a job, it's a government salary. I don't know what a senator makes. A couple $100,000 a year.
Yeah, I mean a Pennsylvania senator probably makes about 80, 90.
So he makes $100,000.
Plus they get like
per diems
and to stay overnight in the Harrisburg.
And, right. Well, they say they make $100,000 a year. How do they retire billion like worth like $2.6 million, $10 million?
Yeah.
It used to.
Well, that's because Pelosi can sit on a committee and be like, "Well, Microsoft, I'm not sure if we're going to take you up on this bid.
Yeah.
Let me call my husband real quick. Husband, hey, go buy $40,000 of Microsoft stock. Okay, the committee has voted, and I think we'll go ahead and approve your $4 billion contract." Right. That's how they all get rich.
That's how they get rich.
If you and I did that, we go to prison for insider trading.
Well, here's what it should be like. It should be like, hey, Brad, guess what? You have to be a senator 4 years. Oh, shit. You should be like, then you go serve your country. That it shouldn't be, I can't wait to get in there and just rape everybody of all their money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the power.
You should want to do it for, I hate jury duty. But when I'm there, I enjoy it because I'm doing something. To serve.
It's a service.
The community.
It's a constitutional service.
I don't try to get out. I mean, I would love to try to get out of it. I understand why people do. But I just I'm here. I'm going to do my best and do it.
Which is an episode we should get into.
Yes, you can change
jurors' rights.
Yeah.
Like
they don't want me standing outside.
Yeah. Like for people who don't know, you don't, just because they wrote a law doesn't mean you as a juror need to convict him of said law.
Nope.
Like, if you don't believe the law is legit, and if you read constitutions and stuff, like if you're a weirdo and you actually sit and read like state and constitutions, they can write whatever they want, but if it violates that constitution, it's garbage.
Well, as long as you don't believe it, it doesn't matter. If you don't believe something that they say, you can just say innocent.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You're a citizen.
Yeah.
That's your right. You're part of the 12.
So keep that in mind when you go out.
Well, right there is my best answer for you, Sam. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, right after this,
Yeah, we're in a world of shit.
right after this, we're going to black pill you.
Yeah. I mean, listen, we don't live in, 1950s America anymore.
No.
Like, it's a like I watched videos today or yesterday, and it was a Russian army recruitment video.
Oh, yeah.
And the dude's like stacked and jacked, and he like sits up, and it's all in Russian, so I don't know really what they're saying. Then I watched a Chinese one; they're shooting cannons and planes are taking off. Then I watched the U.S. Army one, and it's like I grew up with two moms, and I realized that I've already been fighting for whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, why is you joining the Army have anything to do with having two moms? It's irrelevant. And then she's like, I run a Patriot missile battery, and it's all cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, she's like, I'm Corporal such and such. And I'm like, wait a minute.
Well,
you just told me you went to college. Why are you a corporal?
Well, it's
Like, I was a corporal, and I was out of high school. I went to the Marine Corps and became a corporal. Like, why wouldn't you be like, I don't know, like a first lieutenant? You have college under your belt.
these are the people who are going to be like, we're going to go ahead and drone strike those dudes and protest them.
Well, like, I'm not sure, like...
Listen, it's not. Let's say this: it's not the wrong if you had two women for your parents. That's
right.
Not. That's
Who
not.
gives a crap?
That isn't the problem.
I just need to know that you're going to pick up a gun
Right.
and you're going to kill the enemy if he's trying to do something bad against them.
Right. It's nothing to do with. That's not what he's saying is the bad part. That doesn't matter. It's like, what does that have to do with the job?
And, like, here's the other thing. Newsflash, America. Go back and watch some 1980s G.I. Joe episodes. You want to talk about, like, strong women? Like, Lady Jane and Scarlet were kicking dudes' asses.
Sure.
And they were women. Like, it didn't matter. Hey, nobody was like, hey, you're a girl. You can't do this. Nope. No. They were like, oh, did you just freaking spin kick freaking Storm Shadow? Sweet.
Cobra.
Cobra.
Yeah. No, that's it. There's always been strong women characters. I don't understand why they act like there hasn't been.
I know. But anyway, we're getting a little off topic.
We're not even.
So,
I don't know what topic. Oh, we were talking about Sam.
Thanks, bro.
Thank you.
We love you. But we're gonna get back in, so we talked about the CNN or the MSNBC doctor who just wants to put a stick in front of a carrot, or a carrot on a stick and hold it in front of you so that you follow along with their stupid rules.
Right now they're getting into a mask again, because this is another CDC. The CDC said we don't have to wear masks if you've been vaccinated, and that's all these news anchors want to know how we're going to check to make sure everybody's been vaccinated. To prove the state. And I've listened to the woman from the CDC. She said, if you have been vaccinated, you are fine. You are fine. You are less like you're not going to spread the virus. It's like, I can't remember, astronomically low or something they said.
Yeah, which is weird because like a week ago we talked about
we're all going to die. Yeah.
It's not we're all going to die, but how I read that thing from the pharmacy, and it really just says that it reduces the severity of it. So you'll carry it.
Yeah, you'll carry it. Well,
and you'll pass it around. They'll blame me for it.
Well, here's another video. This is a clip from what news network was Rachel Maddow on?
MSNBC.
I think so. Yeah.
Is that I feel like I'm going to have to rewire myself so that when I see somebody out in the world who's not wearing a mask, I don't instantly think you are a threat.
Oh my God.
You're a denier and you definitely haven't been vaccinated. I mean, we're going to have to rewire the way that we look at each other because Because the CDC's guidance, which she just told me, we are sure, is that if you're vaccinated, you don't need to wear a mask except in very specific circumstances. And so that means as we change that as a country, we are going to look at each other differently and have to unwire our preconceptions about what a mask or a lack of a mask means.
Who gets brainwashed in a year?
Yeah, no kidding.
Wow.
What weak-minded person are you?
Don't say that.
Well, here,
I mean, we had the entire population of Germany march 6 million Jews to a gas chamber.
it was probably a year and
All because of the media.
a year and change.
Yeah, it was like,
But-
Wait, I thought it was
Jews are
Jews.
bad. He's a rat.
He don't know what he's talking about.
What?
You know. But anyway, but like,
I said German population.
oh, I'm sorry, but this, she don't even she didn't even mention kids, so I don't know what she's so afraid of. She's been vaccinated, surely. So I haven't thought about that about anybody the whole time.
No, me either.
You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
like, you see those memes of like normal people, and they're like smiling, taking selfies out in the park, and it's like, no, it's conspiracy theorists taking selfies in the park.
Yeah.
Normal people don't have a big bag of their whole body.
Yeah.
That's what's wrong. That's what's wrong. It's I don't understand. I never looked as a person as a scourge.
Well, when you fall for propaganda, I mean, like, take, Jim Jones and the
Kool-Aid.
the Kool-Aid.
Flavor Aid.
What
It was flavor.
what was that called?
Kool-Aid.
What was that place?
Jonestown.
Jonestown. Do you know they rehearse drinking Kool-Aid
Every night.
every day?
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day. Every day. And, I'm sure he never was like, hey, this is going to be poisoned one day. No, you just brainwashed people into, if you hit the red button, food comes out. If you hit the green button, you get an electric shock. Well, eventually, you don't hit the green button anymore. You hit the red one because food comes out.
Well, that Jonestown, I've listened to a lot of documentaries about it, where he would get up numerous nights a week and just ramble on for hours and make those people work at night, keep them up for days. Like, they had no idea where they were. And then he would do that every day. Like, it wasn't every day he'd do the Kool-Aid thing, but it was often. Like, whenever he'd have a freak out, it's like, it's time to drink the Kool-Aid. It wasn't Kool-Aid. It was
Flavor Aid.
poor Kool-Aid. Not the bad prep.
We don't want to give Kool-Aid bad prep because I love it. Because you know what's going to happen.
He's gonna burst in
Yeah,
his
he's
door.
going to burst through my wall, bro.
Hey. But there's a lot of
Right into my bonker, dude.
the bunker would be straight. You'd have to dig down really far. But there's a lot of people that think that was an MK Ultra drill. That those people weren't even Kool-Aid. They didn't drink Kool-Aid. They were executed by the CIA allegedly, or whatever Black Ops was running it. Because you ever see the pictures from the helicopters, the airplanes?
They're all like laid in perfect circles.
All like they made them all get down on their hand, like on their knees, like the Nazis did, and then shoot them. Because the stories of the I forget what country that was in. It was a South American country.
It was probably like
Uganda, maybe.
It's probably like Nicaragua.
No, I think it was Uganda or something like that. But
Uganda's in Africa.
oh, it wasn't Africa. It was South America. Yeah, I'm way off.
Nicaragua.
But the men that went and cleaned it up, they laid there for so long. When it would pick his arms up, the skin would pull up.
Well, I mean, it is a desert.
So they had no there was no cause of they get no good cause of death. Their bodies were completely destroyed.
All right, we're getting way off topic again.
No, that's just a conspiracy.
Guyana.
That's it. Guyana.
Guyana.
You idiot.
Sorry.
Shut up, Ashley. Who told you to talk?
You didn't raise your hand. All right. So the left and the COVID people are going to have to start to rewire their brain to recognize that all the people who stop wearing masks, which I don't think they're going to stop wearing masks.
Not the people that are.
It's killed 1%, less than 1% of the population. It's killing.
Right.
Like if you have to rewire your brain because, I'm sure car wrecks kill 1% of the population every year.
Probably more.
Like, you don't rewire your brain
to not drive a car.
To not drive.
I think I did read something that said that actually it was safer to drive. It was more dangerous to drive a car than get COVID, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I can't remember the numbers, but that was the numbers. Whatever.
Well, I did write something down when they came out for the non-mask wearers, right? And my big point is, I think they're going to hunt down the unvaxxed.
That's what it sounds
Like, they're going to come after your job and everything else. Now, I'm pretty sure that nobody can force you to get a vaccine that is not FDA approved. Okay? Your employer can't. Your government can't. Nobody can force you. And I know there's laws on it. I'd have to look up the numbers of the laws.
You want to read the Nuremberg Code?
Yeah. Well, okay.
You
Let's
wanna-
just skip past U.S. federal law, and we'll just read the Nuremberg Code about mandatory anything.
The voluntary consent of a human subject is absolutely essential. This means that the person involved should have legal capacity to give consent, should be so situated to be able to exercise free power of choice without the intervention of any element of force, fraud, deceit, distress, overreaching, or other ulterior form of consent or coercion.
Coercion.
So
that means that your business can't say, hey, you're going to get this vaccine or you're not going to work. That's coercing you into doing something that you, as a free-willed person, don't want to do.
Right. Here's number 2. The experiment should be such as to yield fruitful results for the good of society, unpursuable by other methods or means of study, and not random or unnecessary in nature. So that means there should be no other treatments.
Right, and that's why they in the beginning, when everybody was pushing the other treatments, they called them kook bags,
right.
Because
not AstraZeneca, but I can't even think of the names of them. Hydroxychloroquine, and there's a couple other ones.
Yeah, there's a couple that they were using.
Zinc.
And if the thing is, if they found that those were helpful, they can't mandate a vaccine.
Right.
And that's why they tried to crush that.
It, yeah.
That's why they made 150 doctors who stood down in D.C. and were like, hey, we had really good results treating people with these, like they were freaking absolute kook bags.
Right. Here's number 3. The experiment should be so designed and based on the results of animal experimentation and knowledge of the natural history of the disease or other problem under study that anticipates results justify the performance of the experiment. That means they need to do animal studies.
They need to do studies on it before they start pumping it into our system. Right now, anybody who went and got that, you're the experiment. You're the experiment right because they didn't test them on animals.
Well, I read an article today. They said they did test them on animals, but I don't know when they had time to do the animal test.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Maybe it was a variation of it before they came out with this variation.
Or they already had it because it's a chemical weapon or biological weapon, not a chemical.
Okay. That was number 3. Number 4, the experiment should be so conducted as to avoid all unnecessary physical and mental suffering and injury. I don't know about that. It seems like a lot of people are getting sick from it.
Well, the other thing is, too, physical or mental injury. Like when you tell people you can't go back to doing what you did before unless you take this.
Unless you take it.
That's kind of a mental
stress. Yeah. 5, no experiment should be conducted where there is a prior reason to believe that the death or disable injury will occur, except perhaps if those experiments where the experimental physicians are also subjects that serve as a subject. So that means if you fear if someone's going to die from it, the only way you can give it to someone else if you personally took it yourself.
Right. And until
now that's the only one because they're all claiming they took it.
They all claim they took it.
Now, but how can you prove that?
I watched a video of somebody taking it the other day. I don't know, famous person. But I couldn't even see the needle. The way they were holding the needle and injecting it, I couldn't see it.
I've seen a lot of weird things on the internet of how doctors are talking about how they shoot them in the garbage instead of actually putting them in their arms and stuff. But that's all.
We don't know because I don't work in there. Well, I saw a video of a nurse the other day that was every death over the last 2 months.
Yeah, I saw that.
Or every hospitalization, I should say, over the last 2 months at that hospital has all been people who received both vaccinations.
Vaccinations,
yep.
Yes. Here's not a funny story, but a weird story. I will say, since you said that. Exploding leg syndrome. I was listening to a podcast, And there was a 58-year-old kickboxer. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I have it written down here, but I don't know if I'll be able to find it. But they gave him a shot of AstraZeneca. They gave him a second shot. He developed a fever. He had to go to a hospital. I mean, this guy had like his name, what hospital,
Right.
what town. He had like a whole list of facts that I don't have. It sounds like I'm an idiot. But he said that he got the shot. He got a fever. The infection moved to his leg. The doctors came in one night, the second night, and said, "We're going to have to amputate some of your toes, maybe some of your foot." The next day, it got so bad, the doctor's like, "We're going to have to amputate your whole leg." But prior to the surgery, his leg exploded in the room. Like the skin burst. And the guy was quoted, the guy that happened to quoted said there was blood everywhere. It was horrific. And they had to amputate from the knee down.
I bet that does wonders for your kickboxing career.
Yeah. You're kicking with a nub. Phantom leg kicks. Oh, that's sad. What was I on? 5?
Yeah.
Okay, 6. The degree of risk to be taken should never exceed that determined by the humanitarian importance of the problem to be solved by the experiment. Now, like you just said earlier, it's only 1% of the population.
Yeah, slightly less than 1%.
I mean, I would have to gather the flu probably gets close to that. I mean, it's probably a little lower.
Yeah.
I mean,
but you got to remember, too, we don't count the flu 365 days. We count the flu as this
3
flu
months.
season.
So yeah, like
yeah,
3, like it's like
October to March.
It's
I
like
think.
five and a half months or something. Yeah, that's also pumping the numbers up. The average flu season is only 5 to 6 months, where this is a whole year.
And you played that lady who was last week, who was like, I'm worried that, when the summer comes, because in the summer, this is like all coronaviruses, they reduce and
That was that.
Yeah, because it's a flu season.
It kills it. The UV light kills it.
Yeah, no, the sun. Yeah, the sun.
7, proper preparation should be made and adequate facilities provided to protect. I can't read off. To protect the experimental subjects against even remote possibilities of injury, disability, or death. So so they should be given this in a hospital, not drive-by clinics or like a school gymnasium is what they're saying. Because there's people having trouble.
I mean, listen, we know that just by the Nuremberg Code, they shouldn't be given this crap.
Right. There's 2 more.
Without consent, at least educated consent, where, okay, let me see your trials. They won't release the trials. Let me see the ingredients. We watched that video a couple weeks ago where the lady who was administering the shots pulled the vaccine paper out of the thing. Yeah. It was blank. Right. They weren't even writing anything on it.
No.
And then, what did I send you earlier this week? It was the
You sent the Canadian one about the Canadian deaths?
It wasn't. No, it was. Was it New Hampshire?
No.
But anyway, it was the Moderna shot. The Moderna shot. Somebody had posted the ingredients.
Oh,
ingredients list.
Yes.
And one of the ingredients is the SM-102. Right? So when you go look up SM-102 on the people who OSHA. On the OSHA website, the SM-102, it said not for human and animal usage, fatal if contact with the skin. So that's the stuff that's one of the ingredients they put in. Now, I get it. Like, you're going to say, like, hey, well, they put, what do they put in the water and a lot of these?
Fluoride.
Fluoride, yeah. Well, fluoride is one of the deadliest chemicals on the face of the earth.
Well, you brush your teeth with it.
The Nazis used it to subdue the Jews in the ghettos. They put it in the water.
Right. Well, that's
because it helps to subdue people.
Yeah, it keeps your teeth healthy.
Mm-hmm.
You get in an argument with people, you didn't give your kids fluoride.
Yeah, I don't give mine.
No, I don't think so. It's bad enough.
And what's funny is, my kids, we have a well. They've never been given fluoride, and they've never had a cavity. And I'll yawn, and my kid will be like, what's all in your mouth, Dad? And I'd be like, yeah, it's because I probably didn't brush my teeth. No, it probably was because you were pumping me full of freaking deathly chemicals.
No, that's
Thanks,
gold
Mom.
teeth, baby.
Yeah, no, they're not gold. They're probably
They're mercury.
mercury. Probably killing me and making me look weird.
Remember, you used to get dudes to put the aluminum foil and like bite on it.
Oh, yeah. I did that the other day, not long ago. Like
I
was pulling a piece off, and I was like, oh.
I took all mine out and got those white things put in.
Oh yeah, you rich.
I don't know. The doctor tricked me into it, I think.
So, like, I think with the COVID, they're gonna, you know, like I said, I put down. I think they're gonna hunt us down, and how they're gonna hunt us down. They're going to use, you know, oh, do you want to go here? Well, you got to show your vaccine card. And eventually it's going to catch up where you're not going to be able to work, you're not going to be able to do anything until you show that you were vaccinated.
Yeah, it's not necessarily like we're going to hunt you down.
Right. There's not going to be 14 dogs chasing after me like I escaped from, you know, a southern prison in 1928.
No, it's just going to be, they're just going to slowly eliminate where you can go. First, it'll be airplanes and trains and stuff. And then it'll be, you can't go to concerts. And then it'll be,
I'm a private business, and I think you should have to show me your medical history.
Right. Then it'll be like, I own my own business. You can't work here unless you have COVID shots.
Because, like, what I don't understand about the whole mask thing, because from the beginning, they've said, your mask protects me, my mask protects you, right?
Great marketing.
Great marketing, because that's not really how masks work. But, okay. Then they were like, hey, asymptomatic spread. So for the first time in the history of a disease, a 100% healthy dude's going about his day can now carry a disease and spread it.
What was that?
That's how they pushed the mask.
Typhoid Mary.
Yeah, except she wasn't healthy. She had freaking typhoid.
I know.
And they knew she had typhoid.
Oh, I know.
So,
you get mad at me.
So they said, you know, asymptomatic people can spread. They also said vaxxed people, it doesn't prevent you from getting COVID.
No.
It lessens the symptoms.
Well, that's
so now
that's been proven by the Yankees.
Guess what? Now, what are you? An asymptomatic spreader.
Yeah, now you're in. Yeah, exactly.
So now you're going to get it, and you're not going to know you have it because you've been vaccinated, and you're going to walk around and spread it to everybody because you took your mask off.
Well, this is what I said a couple of weeks ago. Maybe we need to get I'm glad they're getting certified, so I know who got vaccinated.
Yeah.
So I can stay away from them.
Yeah. So, but now what they're going to do is they're going to come out and say, "Oh, those unvaccinated people.
It'll be
they're the ones spreading it."
Yeah, they're going to blame us.
It's the ones who already got the shit put into them and don't know they have it now because they can get it even though they've been vaccinated.
Right. You got the whole the 8 Yankees got it.
8 Yankees.
Bill Maher's got it after vaccination, and I've already heard of 2 or 3 people locally that's been vaccinated and now they have COVID.
And it's weird because I didn't get COVID.
I got COVID.
You had COVID.
I had COVID.
You dead. You dead, bro.
It's hard to walk through your Dorothy's wings, man.
Well, just tuck them under your shirt. Well, are you sure they did
John,
they break them off like that one movie?
Oh, yeah. I didn't know you were a big Kevin Smith fan. That's the second Kevin Smith references in 2 weeks. I thought you were going to go with Michael with John Travolta.
Ooh, I like that one.
Doesn't Kevin Smith not talk in the movie?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Well, yeah, not.
All right.
Told like one time.
So we hit up COVID, obviously, because the summer's coming. You're going to see less COVID talk.
Yeah, hopefully we can not talk about COVID every once in a while.
I mean, Texas, who ended mask mandates 2 months ago, the other day had 0 COVID deaths.
What?
You know, the Neanderthal thinking.
Oh, yeah.
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 Listen, I don't know how much longer we're going to do this, because if they keep freaking hammering us here in Pennsylvania, guess what? I'm going somewhere where I don't have to put a mask on. They can't mandate masks.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
Yeah. I don't know, because, I mean, if it gets cold
Wow, you go down, I tell you what.
Hey, if it's cold down there, I might become the warlord.
You
I'll
get
be like, what's up, bro?
You get out there, you get spin kicked by Chuck Norris immediately. He'll be waiting as soon as the plane lands. Drop kick your ass.
And I'll be like, hey, Chuck, I live through these cold streaks every year, bro.
Hey, it got down to -2 some nights.
I don't wear a coat.
Yeah. Hey, it does that here.
Yeah, but we're in a bunker, bro.
I know. No
We
bunker.
have salt.
Listen,
They don't have
Ashley's
salt.
sitting in on top of 2 giant containers of Chick-fil-A sauce.
Yeah. Gallon.
Gallon jug.
She literally has one of them big bent like straws, twisty straws into her mouth.
Yeah, it comes up from under the seat
now.
right to her mouth. She's like,
It's the buffalo sauce.
Listen, when I prepare, dude.
oh, I'm coming here just for the Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A, dude. I'm gonna have chicken nuggets and Chick-fil-A sauce for the first 6 months of any economic downturn.
Hey, I'll bring the eggs. I got chicken.
All right, so we talked about that. So I hit a little bit of the pipeline. I'll hit a little bit about the pipeline because last week we had the Russia hack of the pipeline. Well, I guess I shouldn't say Russia hack. Just the Russia satellite hack company, I guess.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. So, they shut down the pipeline for 6-7 days. Now it's back up and running. But did you know that as of yesterday, 88% of gas stations in D.C. still have no gas? And what I thought was funny is the company paid them their ransom, like $5 million. I've heard different numbers. I heard up to $90 million, but I don't know. So they paid their money. But what was funny is I heard that this week that it didn't really shut the pipeline down. It shut their billing system down, which means they could have shipped gas to all the gas stations or whoever else they go. They just couldn't bill the people for the gas.
Oh, they don't want to give free gas though. That was the main problem. Was the
main problem. It shut down their billing system.
Is that why my Bitcoin went down?
Yeah, probably Bitcoin.
That's part of it.
That could be because the Fed and everybody else is like, we're going to put the smack down and tax it. They're not going to shut it down.
No, they're going to tax it.
They're just going to tax it. Yeah.
Well, they've been trying to do that for years, for the last couple of years now.
So I got to thinking about the pipeline shutdown, right? So the White House come out and said, we're not going to help. It's a private company. If they want to pay the ransom, they can pay the ransom. So they paid the ransom. It's back up and running. So this week, Biden went ahead and lifted the sanctions that Trump put in play on the Russian pipeline to Germany, right? Because we don't want Russia supplying our allies with natural gas and oil and stuff, right?
We want to give that to them.
Yes, we want to bomb Middle Eastern people so that we can have gas.
Well, who cares about brown people? That's what the American dream.
Okay, so now I got to thinking about that. Did maybe Putin call Biden and say, hey, our little people shut down your pipeline for a week? And I mean, there were videos of people filling trash bags.
Double baggers
with oil. Imagine if we don't open it back up for you. Now, what we'll do is we'll keep these hackers out of the way if you just open up our pipeline into Europe.
Yeah, a bunch of guys with weird haircuts and spray painted hair.
And Puma
pants.
Not pants.
Oh, shoes.
Yeah.
Shoes and
white Puma pants, black Puma sweatpants.
Yeah, black Puma sweatpants and white Puma shoes.
Yeah.
You said Puma 15 times in a row, but didn't say.
Yeah. He's just like Puma. It's like that movie Colors. He's like Puma. Yeah.
So that's my theory on the hack.
That took over the whole country.
The hack shut down the entire East Coast. And then, and what did they use that? Hey, if you don't let us open up our pipeline over here in Europe, we'll just shut you down.
Well, it seemed to open up right after, didn't it?
It sure did.
So, I mean, that's not a bad theory.
Another Cold War.
What kind of theory?
Al-Qaeda theory?
Conspiracy.
Al-Qaeda.
Which,
where'd that come from?
Al-Qaeda theory. Which, if you don't know, the whole conspiracy theory actually was pushed by like the CIA in like the 50s or the 60s.
It was after Kennedy. After Kennedy was assassinated.
Anybody who questioned anything.
It was really pushed. The big first
If you want to know what a conspiracy is, it's anytime like two or three. I don't know. We'll have to ask our uncle.
It's 2 or 3
attorney.
conspirators.
I think it's 2 or 3 people get together
to commit a crime.
to commit a crime.
That's a conspiracy.
So that's a conspiracy.
Right.
So hey, when 3 lawmakers in Washington, D.C. get together and go, hey, this digital currency, why don't we go ahead and make it illegal when it's not illegal now?
Right.
Don't you think that's sort of a conspiracy?
That's a big conspiracy.
Yeah. Like, isn't that a conspiracy? That's not a theory.
No. Well, it's just as good as germ theory. But it's a conspiracy. No, the actual term conspiracy theory, like as the dirty
right,
term,
right. The dirty word.
The dirty word came up after the JFK assassination. Was anybody who would question the official Warren report.
Right. Anybody who questioned the fact that his head whipped back when the shot was fired.
Back and to the left.
And not forward, which is how you would usually whip your head after being shot in the back.
Yeah, well, yeah. But it's like anybody who thought there wasn't a fact that a bullet could turn 19 times after it enters a human's body and then land pristinely on a gurney, they were called conspiracy theorists.
Right.
And there's a list. We'll have to get into that another time. There's a list of dead people that question that.
Yeah. I saw something one time. So, like, we all know, like, if you plant a tree, how it grows a little bit each year. And I saw a thing where, like, the trees that are in front of the library.
The dogwood trees there. In front of the library. But the book suppository.
Yeah. Somebody said, like, they're so big now that, like, if you went back, 50, 60 years, they would still be too big to see the car. So you couldn't even see when he fired that shot from the book depository. I mean, I still think it's amazing that he fired 3 well-aimed shots at a moving target in 3 seconds.
And scored hits.
Like, yeah. I mean, I'm a trained Marine, and I know Arlie Ermey says that in the movie, because he was a Marine. He could do that.
I mean, I can see you getting lucky and pulling off one shot, like one hit, body hit. But he had 3 hits.
Yeah, 2. I think so. 2 or 3.
2 on the Kennedy and then 1 on the. I don't know. There's also conspiracies out there that was it Johnson who took over for him or Nixon? Johnson had already changed everything.
The curtains in the Oval Office before Kennedy was assassinated.
Right. Now, what screwed everything up was there was 5 shots, or there was supposed to only be 3 shots, but that one guy got hit in the face with a fragment of a bullet that really screwed everything up with the 3-shot theory.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't know because I haven't really gotten way into it. I know you're really into it.
There's like
Mima and you. Like Mima probably gazed at her plates every day. It was like, I know.
Those boys,
sons of bitches took you out.
Both of them. She had a double plate.
Yeah, she had a double plate, and then she had like the bronze busts on the wall.
Yeah, and she was barely Catholic, I think. That's why she loved them.
Yeah,
there's a whole theory of the driver shooting him in the head. There's all kinds of the truck behind them. After the second shot, when they hit the gas, he fell back and shot him with an AR. You know what I mean? Like he was holding a rifle and shot him in the head
with the finger on the trigger.
Even the video that we see.
Normally, you just sit with your finger directly on the trigger.
Right. Even the video that you see about the Kennedy assassination was, I saw it on the History Channel. Like there is a piece that is cut out.
Yes, there's
they have said
a 2-second or 3-second frame
that is cut out of that video.
Right, and now there was a gentleman that came out. They made a documentary about it. His name was James Files. I don't know how we got into this, but we're going to get into it. But his name was James Files. He was in jail, and he admitted that he said that he went down with Henry Cressetti, was a Chicago mob boss. And they flew down to Texas, and he was the one who was behind the picket fence who shot him in the head with a bullet. And he said he bit the shell, stuck it on the fence post, and then there was a gentleman in the 1970s who went up there with
metal detector.
Was looking around for bullets, and he found the bullet with a bite mark in it that matched the gun he said. Now, granted, he made the confession in the 90s, I think the late 90s.
Yeah.
That would have been after that guy found the
bullet.
The bullet. So who knows what happened there.
Yeah.
But there was a story that he said that Oswald was in on it. They went together and shot guns that day, and there was like him and Thomas. Thomas said he was in a building across the street from the books depository in a window. Oswald was in a window. He was at the picket fence. There was a guy inside the sewer drain. There was all kinds of crazy stuff going on.
And the sewer drain.
And yes, that's one of the conspiracies. The guy was in the sewer and shot directly up to the left. But that Files claims he's the one that had the fatal headshot. He said as soon as he passed the sign, he pulled the trigger and killed him. But
that's another episode.
That's another episode we can do that. It'll just be on that because I could talk about GFK stuff for 2.5, 3 hours.
I like JFK.
What was the movie filmed at Raystown? Was that Hoffa?
That was Hoffa.
Oh,
they just landed.
flew the plane.
That was it. There was just a plane landing in the water. And that was
That's
it. It was down by the dam or whatever.
Oh.
Yeah. All right.
That's not a conspiracy. They killed that son of a bitch and they got rid of him.
Yeah.
They put him in Raystown.
They're like, where'd he go? I'm like, who gives a shit? He's dead.
Yeah, he's under Met State.
Whatever. Who
Yeah,
cares?
it doesn't matter.
There's not a giant conspiracy about it.
Yeah,
They
they
whacked him.
killed him because he was a
He's a
union
problem.
mob boss.
Who's a problem? Who's causing
Yeah.
problems? That's it.
All right,
Same
so
thing we're gonna do to Ashley if she don't get this fucking episode out in time.
on Tuesday,
Sorry.
not Wednesday, not Thursday.
I
All
apologize.
right, so we hit COVID.
We're on COVID. You
We
did
hit
your
the pipeline. I did hear on Glenn Beck this week. He had interviewed Nikki Haley.
Okay.
And I just thought it's a couple key points of her. I mean, she's obviously gonna run for president. You know,
Who is she exactly?
she was.
Ashley don't know, so please.
She
tell
was
us.
the UN. She headed up the UN under Trump, and she's tough. She's a tough woman. Like her family are like, is it like Sheik, like the Indian sheiks?
Oh, okay.
Like, you know what I mean?
Sikhs.
So she's a converted Catholic, I think, and like
welcome
she's
her.
like an immigrant, and like she like it's gonna be hard for the left to destroy her.
She's has that immigrant mentality of hard work. To build,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To build yourself up to something in a place that's not yours.
Right. So she was talking about China, you know, since we're talking about
China.
The Russians attacking us. So she's saying, like, China's our biggest threat, which obviously they are. I mean, they launched a biological freaking war on us, and we don't say anything about
Sure
it.
that wasn't Russia?
No, it was China
Oh.
with the COVID.
No,
I mean,
it was
more
China.
and more stuff is coming out now that this probably came out of a lab in Wuhan, funded by Fauci.
Well, you just sent a text over about that.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know. I didn't see it. I don't remember because I send you guys so much crap during the day.
I'm flicking through it here.
So anyway, she's convinced that like China is like our number one enemy. Oh yeah, okay. So China's our number one enemy. They're gonna use the next Olympics as like their hey, we're good guys.
Doesn't that sound familiar? Didn't that happen in 39?
Yeah. Wasn't someone Time Life Man of the Year?
I don't know who you're talking
He had a
about.
little weird mustache just like under his nose.
It wasn't weird at the time.
He was a prolific speaker.
Chaplin had it.
Oh,
He
yeah,
was
you're
really
right.
sad when Chaplin didn't like him.
So they were saying like, after the Olympics, if everything goes well, she's like, I see them taking Taiwan.
I thought they would have took him already.
Yeah. I mean, under this bumbling buffoon, yeah, but I said this in one of the other episodes. If I was Russia and China, Iran, I would be like, hey guys, why don't we just put the smackdown on America and be like done with it? You know what I mean? But whatever.
What
So
else?
one of the interesting things that I thought was, they put the screws to us about calling it the Wuhan virus, right? So we talked about this last week a little bit.
Well, that's
but-
what you name like normally do is name like the Spanish flu.
Yeah.
Uh,
What's the tick? The tick.
Lyme disease.
Yeah, that's like
Lyme,
Lyme,
New York,
Massachusetts,
Lyme,
or
New York, and Lyme, Massachusetts.
Connecticut, or
Connecticut.
something.
I
Yeah,
think it
there.
was,
Yeah. So they put the screws to us, and they weren't allowed to say it was the Wuhan anymore. And they threatened us with PPE, like we won't send you your PPE. But one of the things I wrote down, there were 2 American companies that make PPE over there. And China said, you're not allowed to give that to the Americans. They bought it wholesale, right? So whatever the cost was, because it's made there.
Right.
And then they used that as, like they were telling countries, you're only getting this PPE if you allow our 5G network into your country.
5G? Is that good
if
for
you Huawei, which is a big, like Trump put a ban on Huawei stuff. It's like a big tech company over in China. We weren't Huawei. Is that how you say it?
Jesus Christ. That's Huawei.
You're worldly.
I'm just more sophisticated.
Yeah, I know. You're smarter than that.
Yeah.
So if you banned them, you weren't getting any of the PPE.
Well, that Huawei was a tech company.
Yeah. The 5G networks into your country, you're not getting the PPE. And that's why you're seeing the EU and stuff adopting their 5G networks instead of ours. Right. Which, if you let them into your country, you're letting a backdoor into all your information.
They own it.
They own it.
That's what they do.
That's how they work over
there. They take everybody's information. That's why Trump didn't want Huawei in, because their phones were backdoor to everything. And there was government people that wanted to use government phones. Turn them to Huawei. And everybody act like
Biden's kid.
Well, whatever. They act like he's a racist because they don't want another country's network.
Right, in ours.
And that has all the back doors.
Hey, I'm at the Pentagon. We're going to go ahead and use the Chinese network.
Right. Well, it's bad enough that you have Amazon and
Bill Gates and Microsoft
and Apple and have connections, but at least they are American citizens. You know, born in...
Yeah.
Well, I don't... Yes, he's an American citizen. No, the guy from Google is... Not Google. The guy from Amazon.
Yeah,
he's
Jeff Bezos.
He's from Arizona. They're all American people.
Yeah.
Least.
Yeah, well, so
who knows who their ties are, but...
So was McCarthy.
McCarthy.
During the Red Scare, McCarthyism.
Oh, McCarthyism.
Red Scare. We need that again.
Yeah, with people that use Huawei.
It was a funny meme. I sent you something funny.
Nah, I doubt it. I probably punched it up.
The other day. And now I can't remember what it was. Crap. But anyway.
Was it a picture of a condom and then a face mask that said, don't they want to wear you either?
No. I saw that. I was like, the one that I saw was like, what the hell happened here?
Oh, that's really funny.
Yeah.
Then my wife showed me that. She said, look at this one. And I said, I don't know if I want to put that on our Instagram page.
Yeah.
Because it was just the condom. Well, I'm saying it now in this show, so I might as well put it on there. It was a condom and a face mask. It's like, don't they want to wear you either? That must be Ashley's boyfriend.
You know, so obviously China is rolling the world with everything.
Everything right now.
But, like, we also, like, there was some back and forth with us this week about, like, Bloomberg, the world economy is suddenly running low on everything. And we talked about that last week.
Well, we talked about that since our first episode.
Yeah. What was some other... we didn't get it. I know last week I had notes on the Maricopa County audit, but we didn't get into it. But so the state of Arizona, their house said, yes, we're going to approve this audit, give them all the information that they want. Now everybody's fighting the audit.
Right.
Maricopa County Board of Supervisors begged the Arizona Senate to end the election audit for, quote, the good of the country. Now, I don't know if anybody who listens to us, I don't turn on the news, but I'm guessing that they haven't really talked all that much about the Arizona audit.
I doubt it. I haven't heard anybody talking about it.
What I have seen is that they've uncovered huge discrepancies. They weren't supposed to delete information, and they deleted it. And I sent you guys
from Alex Jones there.
From InfoWars, that the Arizona auditors recovered the 2020 election database deleted days before the audit began.
Well, then, what about our own election? This last
just
week.
the other day.
There was
Just
counties
Tuesday.
running out of. Well, you sent me the. I think it was a state rep, wasn't it?
It was a state rep.
He was saying that there was counties running out of GOP ballots, and
yeah. And didn't I send you an email? I thought I sent one today, where maybe I didn't send it, where they answered the company. It was a zero hedge. It said Dominion responds after Pennsylvania election officials report
COVID.
Oh, God, it's
report
COVID.
coding
Get that thing and
with
shove it in his
voting
nose.
machines. So, they were like, "Oh yeah, we just happened to print the ballots wrong." And like, here's the thing.
Well, they're reading wrong, and then some places didn't have enough.
And I was seeing stuff today where people were like, I didn't know there was a back to the ballot.
Oh, yeah.
Where the four things
Yeah.
were.
Like I said, lucky where we live, the little nice lady that I go to,
Mrs. Wilkinson will
she
tell us.
she looked right at me and said, well, make sure you look in the back because there's the important votes there in the back as well.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're supposed to do. You know what I mean?
I mean, honestly,
They
like,
didn't
this
do it
goes,
when I was there.
Yeah, this goes back to like what we said earlier, where Sam was like, "What can we do?" This is the stuff that you need to do. Volunteer at your
You
local
volunteer.
voting.
Make
stuff.
sure it doesn't matter, Republican, Democrat.
Right.
Make
Doesn't
sure
matter.
it does it right.
Make sure it's right.
Yeah.
I don't look if
I don't want to win by cheating.
yes.
If I'm wrong because 80% of the population thinks I'm a kook job, so be it. But
Right.
but if I think I'm on the same page of a lot more people than what other they're saying,
Right.
I just don't. I want it to be right. That's all.
Just make it right. That's
Right.
why we should be showing IDs. That's why we should be freaking like the Iraqis when they would come out and like the people were showing their
Yeah.
thumbprints. That should be us.
Well, you show an ID. I have to show ID to buy beer. I have to show ID if I get tickets at a baseball game. They get will call.
If you use your credit card.
You're supposed to show an ID for credit card. They don't care no more.
I know they don't care anymore.
I have to use an ID if I go to a bank and cash a $6 check. If it's not my bank, they don't know me.
Mm-hmm.
I got to use the ID if I buy a gun. I got to use an ID for everything.
To get a book out of the library.
I want to fly on a plane. You got to use a library or an ID.
Unless you're a Mexican.
Yeah, well, unless you're coming in from illegally, yes. But
I mean, it just makes sense, and it's almost racist to be like, well, these black people can't get ID.
well, that's what they make it out to be. They're like minorities can't. They just can't come. Like, and you go interview minorities in this.
Yeah,
But here, I'm sick of the word minority.
I know.
We're all the same.
Right, we're all Americans.
You know what I mean? It's like, well, the minority. We're not different. But they go into talk to a black gentleman. He's like, what do you mean I can't get an ID? What am I, stupid?
Right.
You know what I mean? Or you go talk to a Mexican guy that has, he lives here. He's like, I have an ID right here.
Yeah.
It's insulting. It's insulting to me, to them, to everybody who's a person that lives in this country.
Right.
And I'm sick of the minority shit.
Well,
I'm sorry, but I'm sick of it.
what?
Did you raise your hand?
Oh.
Oh, go ahead, guys.
So they aren't allowed to, show IDs because that's against minorities, but they force the real ID, which is twice as much for your ID at least up here, and make you have that to show that to go to a federal building.
Yes.
Or to get on a plane.
Yeah, I never even thought about that. You gotta have
that-
a real ID to go anywhere, and it's on a plane or nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can't, if they should make it have to use the vote, because that's one of the most important things. Is
Can I attach that to the side of my hat like a fishing
like a fishing license with a big hook through it.
Yeah. All right, you know what? Like we've really Debbie Downered some more. Sorry, Sam. But we're gonna talk. Like, I know we had some stuff more positive, but before we get to that,
Okay, go ahead.
UFOs, dude.
Yeah.
Some more UFOs.
What do you mean
stuff.
positive? That is I
That
love
is
UFOs.
Great.
Woo! Hey,
All right.
listen, let me say one funny thing before you get to your
Mhm.
points. My daughter's doing a thing of the States. It's like you have to make a float.
Yeah, I know. We worked on ours tonight.
Okay, so they're doing the same thing. You're making a
I
float,
mean, there's like 50 kids in the high school, in the school, the whole school.
but they're making a float on states, and you have to put like all the stuff on it.
What state did you get?
New Mexico, baby.
Nice.
Know what I have? I have a big alien spaceship smashed into the side of it, and it's like alleged space crash.
Area
UFO
51.
Museum.
No, it's not Area 51. It's Roswell. Area 51's in Vegas, I think, or Nevada. Come on.
Sorry, bro.
I tell you why.
man.
I
It's the
always
UFO
think Brad's
Museum.
smarter than me, and
It's-
I always know all this weird little stuff.
Yeah.
Well, wait. Well, what,
No, well,
what
I
state
mean,
do you
listen,
have?
I have a master's degree.
You're smarter than me.
So listen.
Oh.
But here's the thing.
Hey, listen, I'm shrinking in my chair.
No, all
He's
I
got a
did,
master's.
all I did,
My ears are
was,
turned
no,
down.
no. All I did was pay attention enough to like,
Write down what the teachers wanted you to say.
nope. I figured out all the weird federal laws that employers can't screw you. So like, anytime they try to like pull me in to like do anything to me, I'd be like, yeah, you're violating federal law, and they're like, holy smoke. Because, like, most managers and stuff that don't know shit about HR law. So I'm like, did you know, like, HR, blah, 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 you can't really ask me that. Well, I wasn't,
How about
and I'd be like, well, here, just let me write it on my legal pad, because that becomes legal. That's why they're called legal pads.
I'll see you in court.
Yeah, and that was definitely 100%.
While you pass.
No, that was a point given to me from a family member who's an attorney.
Oh.
Flip
He
it
was
over.
like, listen, just walk in there with a legal pad and they'll shit their pants because they, they don't know what they're doing.
Bruce!
We love you.
We love you, Bruce.
We can't believe that you're the one that actually like listens to us and has a sense of humor.
Hey,
He
keep on
hasn't called you
sending.
stupid yet either.
Hey, keep on sending us stuff. I'll put it on our Instagram.
Yeah, we'll put it up. We won't even put your name out there. But anyway,
We just did
UFOs,
twice.
baby. Oh, what state? You asked what state?
Yeah.
Ashley, cut it.
Louisiana, baby.
Oh yeah.
I got so many Mardi Gras beads that I threw at my wife the other day first to try to see her boobs.
Oh God,
Whatever.
Nothing. She wouldn't show you.
dude, I got shown titties at a
Okay,
beer fest
okay,
in
pee
DC.
pants.
It was a dude too. It was
It
a
was
dude.
okay, pee pants. So listen,
Wait,
Piss
listen.
on
Hey, that I
I
tell
knew-
you what, that underwear thing, sound Ashley's piss underwear. That's gonna get us. I thought we can make
3 or 4 more people.
We might be able to buy a mixer with
Okay, so listen. So this week, this is just what I heard this week on UFO. The Pentagon said that they do have wreckage of they have wreckage from probably a UFO,
Identified flying object.
unidentified.
That doesn't mean it's alien.
Right.
Yeah.
But the metal alloys have not been able to be re-engineered yet.
Uh-oh.
So they don't know what the metal they're using.
That's either it's an out of this world plant or craft, or we're screwed.
Yeah, or one of our
I mean-
here's the thing. It has to be out of this world. Only because like if you're like the Russians or the Chinese and you have already reverse engineered this technology, you're just like, to me, like if I'm Z, I'm flying over here in an alien spacecraft all day long. Like I'm calling CNN first. I'm saying, hey, you might want to be in DC today. And I'm going to fly that craft. I'm going to land it on the White House lawn. I'm going to get out and be like, boom! Like, yeah.
You have like 3 mics.
You
just drop them.
can't, yep, you can't touch me, bro. You know.
Yeah.
So that's why it has to be alien.
Well, hopefully.
Yeah. So
Are they third dimensional?
they could be.
We don't want to get into that.
So they were talking about, there was another release of a video, and the guy said their crafts are pulling 6,000 Gs.
Holy
Shit.
6,000, right? So to understand like how strong that is, our rockets that we send into outer space pull 10 G.
Yeah, nothing.
And anything more than that,
Rockets.
we don't have the capacity
No way.
to keep our people from passing out.
No way.
So it, like the human body, if you pull more than 10 Gs, passes out.
Well, those guys that fly the Blue Angels, they literally do exercises where they go, "Hoom,
Yeah.
hoom," and
Yeah,
pump blood,
force themselves.
the blood
Yeah.
up into their brain so they don't pass out when they do like barrel rolls.
Yes. The other thing that they were talking about during that interview, they're blocking our technology.
Yes, that's already been known.
There went
Lieutenant
6G.
Faber.
They got so they were talking about over in the Mediterranean that we were running drills. I think it was the Mediterranean. We were running drills where our pilots were dogfighting each other, right? Now, before they flew in a meeting, like we're sitting here today, they discussed by word
Hopefully they were a lot smarter.
Conspiracy.
where the safe zones were.
Right.
Okay, so after the dogfight, you fly to this safe zone, and the quote fake dogfight ends.
Right.
Right. During the dogfight, a UFO appeared,
Followed them.
matched, like pretended to dogfight with the American airplane, and the pilot was like, we couldn't match anything they were doing. It was crazy. Anything we tried, they were 3 steps ahead of us. Then that craft went to the safe zone
Before they got there.
to end their dogfight. Almost like they were showing our pilots, we know everything.
Right.
Like, we're mind reading you,
Right.
and no matter, we're 10 steps ahead of you, dude. So we're going to dogfight you to show our capabilities, that they're far superior to yours. And that when you and Lieutenant Dan were talking in that meeting, talking verbally, not written down, not over comms,
They heard you.
we know where your safe zone was, and we went there and waited for you to come to the
Right.
safe zone.
I think I've heard that from it was on Joe Rogan. Lieutenant Faber was on there talking about this. How like they met them. No one knew about it except for him and his captain. They were there.
That's how the safe zone is discussed in those meetings. And then the other thing they were talking about was in one of the videos, I guess our technology is able to track them now. That's why these videos are coming out.
Sure. Or it's just Project Bluebeam.
Yeah, Project Bluebeam. So we're tracking an alien UFO.
It's not necessarily alien. It's UFO.
Right, it's UFO.
So that's what
we don't know what
that's
it
what
is.
freaks people out. You're like UFO. They're like, yeah, aliens. I'm like, doesn't mean shit. It just means unidentified flying object. That's all it means. It doesn't mean anything. It could be little Spanish dudes in there.
Yeah.
We don't know who's
But
in
we're
there.
screwed if it's little Spanish dudes.
Well, yeah, more
or
likely.
Chinese, or Russians, or Iranians,
or Canadians.
We're screwed.
Yeah, Canadians will start being like, hey, you're going to be eating maple syrup 24 hours a day,
Yeah.
bitch.
So in one of the videos, we're tracking them, and then we lose them, right? But we're near a carrier ship that's tracking everything that's going on also. The ship picks up the UFO during like at the same time as the plane. The plane loses it for seconds. Seconds later, the aircraft carrier picks them up 60 miles away. 60 miles. So in seconds, that craft, that was not a Nazi.
It might be.
It might be. We talk about
Project High Jump.
Project High Jump.
Wait.
60 miles away, that craft showed up on that ship's radar within a couple seconds.
Wow.
So there's something out there, which leads me. I know we're gonna close up here because we're hitting our time, but
Actually staring at us, this Nazi.
yeah. Pissy ass dirtball is
Pissy underwear pants.
Pissy underwear pants is like tapping on her wrist. But something funny real quick.
PUP.
On Instagram today, I'm on there goofing off, and
TikTok.
Chinese.
that I think it's Neil deGrasse, that astrophysicist, the black dude.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah. Okay. So he's
I
on
think
there.
he's a CIA shill.
He's on there talking about gravity, how gravity moves, right?
Well,
How gravity moves.
Can I do a little background on him?
Yeah.
He is the king of nerds, okay? This guy is a nerd.
Sorry, Sorry, buddy. I know you're listening today, and I know you love aliens and the outer space, but this dude's a nerd.
No, he's a king of nerds. He was a wrestler in high school, okay? But everything he says, like anything that anybody brings up, he just shoots down. He don't want to hear it. Honest to God, I think he is like I think he works for the CIA.
For the government.
Yeah. But go ahead, explain. You're going to explain it right now.
So he's talking about...
He's a king of nerds.
He's talking about...
He's a nerd king.
Quote, the speed of gravity.
Right. They can't prove it.
So now gravity has speed.
Yeah, because I never knew that.
Right? So...
That was your master's degree?
I didn't
That's
learn
why you
that.
don't know.
I didn't learn that in ninth grade science.
Here's what I write, okay?
The apple just goes right through your skull.
Yeah. So I wrote, I always wondered how gravity holds a 200-pound human to the ground with the same force it holds down an 8-ounce bird without crushing it.
They have hollow bones, Brad.
And it allows the same bird to take off in the water. So if you ever watch videos where the birds land in water to like eat a fish,
and they pick it up,
and then they half flap their wings because they're hitting water because they're sitting in water, and then they take off. And I wrote, and it also holds water to a spinning ball. Because I don't know if you've ever tried to spin around with a cup full of anything, it like splashes out, right?
Or the fact that it
literally throws it off.
Well, think about it. There's a ball of water. Dump water on a tennis ball. Does it sit on it anywhere?
Right. And I said, and when I say that I wonder, I mean, don't give me some dumbass math problem that you actually made up to support your own view.
Right.
That no one but you can figure out.
Him and the guy in a wheelchair that has no voice box.
Stephen Hawking. He's dead.
Oh, but he talks from the grave. Him and Bill Gates look the same.
Yeah. So I got a reply to my.
Did you from him?
No, not from him.
That'd be great. The super nerd.
He's not going to reply to me because
he's too busy molesting.
Because he'd be like, well, if you take the force of gravity times blah 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 times the spinning Earth of 15,000 miles an hour, spinning through space at 246 miles.
He's too busy bench pressing.
Blah blah blah.
He's a bench pressing nerd.
He's got to make weight for the wrestling
someone
match.
answered me and said,
"You're stupid."
No.
That'd be great.
She said, it's a woman.
Your wife
she
doesn't
said,
count.
Yeah, they're basically saying gravity is high tech.
Yeah.
It calculates the quantum physics at the speed of sound and customizes the amount of pressure each object needs. Have you seen anything so perfect?
All right, now this will go in perfectly with a flat Earth episode.
Yes, because like I always say, everything they do tries to take you further from God.
Right.
So if you read Genesis, we live in a firmament, right? So if you picture, like I always picture like a snow globe. Now, maybe there's 9, 10, 12, 15 planets, a galaxy in our big giant dome. I don't freaking know. But everything makes more sense when you think that we live on a flat plane. Hence, water runs to level. You know, the Egyptians used like a big U-shaped pipe and would fill it with water to make things level. Because once water got to the other side of the pipe,
it's flat.
That means it's level. So how does level, like, I don't know. I get into this and like, I know I get overboard, but it was just something funny that I thought happened to me.
Here's how I judge people's thought process. I don't know if the earth is round or flat. I don't know. But I'll bring it up and I'll start talking flat earth, you know, just to see, like, when people start talking about conspiracies and stuff.
Yeah.
I bring it up and I see if they get freaked out. They start getting mad at me.
Yeah, they get mad.
They get mad.
They don't get freaked out.
No,
they get argumentative and angry.
That's stupid. I'm like, why are you yelling? Does it matter? Does it matter if the earth's flat around? Like, nothing matters.
Right.
Because
except biblically, when you think of it biblically, it takes you further away from your God.
Right. But I'm just saying.
So when they say you live in a firmament in the Old Testament, that means it's not a big round ball spinning through space with like.
Right. Just,
I know.
Just as a basis of the see where they're at.
Just to see, yeah. Just
Because
to
if
see
you were a free thinker,
right,
I would say I've never been to outer space. I can't tell you.
right.
And at
And
the end of the day,
government doesn't let me build a rocket in my backyard and shoot it
right?
up.
Because at the end of the day, I still have to go to work and everything. It doesn't matter if the Earth's flat or round.
Right.
Tomorrow, I got to do the same shit.
Right.
So they're getting that. It's because they're afraid to admit maybe they've been lied to their entire life.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm already been past that.
You should question everything.
I used to get mad at people. Like, you're stupid.
Right.
Oh, I was told. I'm like, how do you know? Well, there's pictures. Pictures from who? One organization that claims that they can't put one full picture out. They have to re-put them all together.
The same organization where Nixon could pick up a landline phone in the White House and talk to an astronaut who's jumping around on the moon.
Yeah.
And
in
who
1960.
1960. And accidentally erased all the footage and a bunch of photos. And
Go ahead, Ashley.
What?
Put your hand down when you're talking.
Oh, sorry. What organization is this? The one headed by a Nazi?
he used to be headed on.
Oh.
Well, probably still is. Probably his kid or something.
Warren von Braun.
Warren von Braun.
Who has a biblical, it's not the actual text, but it's the scripture number.
It's Genesis, whatever.
And it's now it
talks about
the firmament and how he could not break through. And he always said he could not break through the firmament.
All right, so let's finish up on a happy.
Here we go. This is really a good day for me. This is a good week in that way. Where this is the first artist, a musician that I haven't had to cancel out of my life because of everything.
We just listen to dead dudes.
yeah. I don't listen to any music and these people are still alive. Like Garth. I loved Garth.
Loved.
I mean, I don't listen to his music all the time, but I would go to his concerts. They were awesome.
I saw him when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Twice, dude.
And this piece of garbage played it at the inauguration. And like my buddy texted me that day. He's like, Garth Brooks is dead to me. I said, why? What's going on? He's like, he played the inauguration. And we're all like, he is dead to me.
Dead.
But Van Morrison is getting attacked because he made a new album. Now, he made an album last...
Let's talk about some of Van Morrison's music.
Like Brown Eyed Girl.
Oh, yeah, that's a good song.
That's really good, man. The whole Astro Weeks album's good. If you're into
you have to be a fan.
You have to be into that kind of music. I like when he was in Them, the band Them.
Mm-hmm.
He did like Gloria, and he redid what's that Bob Dylan song? My Baby Blue, or I can't remember all the time. Whatever. But I love it. I named my daughter. I named my daughter after him.
That's all I really wanted to get at.
Yes, my daughter's name is after him. Now, he made an album. Him and Eric Clapton made an album early in the last year, but I didn't listen to any of that. I didn't hear much about it until after this. But he made an album with the tracks on it like "What Happened to the Rebels." Like, what happened to
new punk rock?
The new punk rock. Now, he is officially punk rock again.
He's officially punk rock.
That green-eyed, red-haired devil is out there. And then, Why Are You on Facebook? He has an album or title. Why Are You on Facebook? Which is a good point. Why are you on Facebook?
You can find us on Facebook.
Yes, you can find us on Facebook.
So go ahead and get on there.
Just to find us.
Just to find us.
And then he has one called Mind Control Keeps Us in Line. He's hitting all the points. Now, here's what they're canceling on. Now, this song is called They Own the Media. They're saying he's saying Jews own the media. I don't think he's saying Jews own the media, because I was listening to No Agenda, and I have the same feeling they had, is that he is talking about the pharmaceutical companies own the media.
Yeah,
because they're the ones right now who are controlling everything.
Yeah, when you're dumping 60 to 70 billion dollars a year into commercials,
right?
Right.
Why would he write a song today about a problem like neo-Nazi talked about 30 years ago?
Yeah, right.
There wasn't even a problem; they just made it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not talking about it. He's talking about the government and these giant drug companies owning the media. Because you listen to the song, that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
What I'm hoping today.
Well, Clapton
Yes,
also came out and was like, dude, don't get the shot. I got it. And I didn't think I was ever going to play
No,
it.
he thought he was going to die from it. Now, this is more than one. What's his name? From Bueller.
Oh,
Ben Stein?
Ben Stein was like,
Ben Stein.
it was really bad. Well, he was
standing on, he was in like Israel.
Yeah.
Like standing on like a patio, like apartment patio.
Right.
He was like, don't. He was like, don't. It was the worst thing ever.
Right. But he was a Nixon writer. He wrote for Nixon.
Mm-hmm.
But he also, he didn't come out strong against it. But he was.
No, but he was kind of saying it without saying it. Like,
yes, without being.
It was. He said, like,
I had trouble breathing.
Really think about getting
the vaccine.
Yeah.
Yes. But I was just over the top excited that I don't have to cancel another person out of my life, just like the woke culture cancels people out of theirs.
Blame it all on my roots.
I showed up and shut up.
I showed up and booed.
You're dead to me.
And sang for President Biden. I threw all my fans out in the stands because I didn't do that for Orange Man Band.
What's the sad part is everybody still go to this damn thing.
I won't.
I won't either.
I'll never. Listen, when I was in high school, he did 5 concerts at Penn State University. 5 in a week. 5 or 7. I went to 2 of them.
I'll say this.
Garth Brooks was the shiznit.
Well, you liked them, and that's the only reason I went a couple years ago. Because I was like, dude, if I ever would ever tour again, I'd go because my brother really liked him, and he said it was really good.
Yeah, the rodeo, man, that was like his. I love that.
We
song.
went to
In the river.
Pittsburgh
at the ice hockey one.
Yeah,
that was a really good time.
James.
Yeah, I've
Did
been.
You wear your mask?
We didn't have to then, but he also
before COVID.
Yeah,
somebody peed in an alleyway.
This was. I've been to numerous concerts. I've seen like Slipknot, like heavy metal concerts.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you what, his show would line up to that.
Oh, listen.
Like the energy and the thing in the room. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, like when I was in high school, so 97, I was a senior.
Yeah, I went down that one.
Yeah. So did he pop out of the
piano?
The piano.
Yeah.
And like you're standing there, and he plays. I think it was Red Stroke. He's sitting there, and they open with Red Stroke, and there's the big cursive G in the piano on the stage. I'm gonna punch my dog right in his face. And like he starts playing, and there's a dude with a big cowboy hat. You think like that's Garth Brooks playing the piano, and like the G drops down in. And here comes Garth Brooks out of the freaking piano.
Was it the river, maybe?
And he gets to the top, and a dude from across the stage like tosses a guitar, and he like catches it, throws it on, and he's like, 6 o'clock on Friday evening, mama doesn't know she's leaving till she hears a speedo slamming, rubber squealing, gears and jamming, and I'm like, yeah, we're freaking dying, you know? Yeah. And now you're like playing for Joe Biden. Yeah. Like you're dead. You and Trisha Yearwood, done.
I saw Charlie Daniels last year too. He dead.
Where'd you see him?
At Bryce George Center. He opened for Alabama, I think.
I saw him here in town.
Yeah, I saw him.
I saw him in town, and the acoustics were horrible. Yeah. But he still sounded like he did. Yeah, when he was jamming and the devil went down the door.
That was a good. Great. I tell you what, he plays that like to shut the show down, and then Alabama comes out. It's like. Like, why would they choose this dude to open for?
I know. How do you choose a country music icon? Now, like Alabama's a country music icon, but like,
oh no way compared. Like I
mean, that'd be like Johnny Cash opening for like, I don't know, like
there was a story of Chuck Berry. No, it was yes, Chuck Berry, but it was the piano. Great Balls of Fire. Mm-hmm. Okay, you know what I'm talking about? I forget his name. Jerry Lee Lewis. Mm-hmm. Open for Chuck Berry. They had an argument who was going to open, who was going to close. Chuck Berry says, "I'm closing." Jerry Lee said, "Fine, you can. You can close." So what he does? He plays it. He takes lighter fluid, lights the fucking piano on fire and plays Great Balls of Fire, kicks the he kicks the stove out.
Kicks the stove.
Great Balls of Fire, and the thing's shooting up, and he pushes it off. He walks off the stage and says to Chuck Berry's like, "Hey, good luck following
Have
that."
fun.
And he walks out. That is what it was felt like when they opened for Alabama.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was done on purpose like that. But it was a great show either way.
Classics, dude. I think we should probably close it.
Yeah,
out.
we could just sit here and mumble on for an
I
extra
know.
hour.
We could literally talk about like great artists.
There ain't no money left.
No.
But once again, we'll do
Love you, Johnny Cash.
we'll do the Instagram is This Week in Conspiracy at Instagram, or go to Instagram and follow us on This Week in Conspiracy. DM me.
Follow us.
Facebook, This Week in Conspiracy. On Instagram and Facebook we put up.
We put tons of stuff on Instagram.
I think we had what? This is our 5th week, or this will be our 6th. We have over 100 posts on Instagram. So
Get that little heart and that little like ribbon thing on the side. I think that actually counts more now.
I'm not sure. I don't
because they changed
know
it
what the
all.
hell
just DM me and then we'll read it.
Yeah, we'll read it. Sam, thanks for reaching out to us last week.
Yeah, like same thing on Facebook. Just type us in. Type us something. We'll read it. What's our email? This week in conspiracy at Gmail.
Yes.
And then our Twitter has like 7 backslashes and 3 underscores.
Yeah.
What is
Doesn't
And
it?
a
In
period.
underscore conspiracy.
Oh, in underscore
Under-
conspiracy.
Underscores.
So you can go on there too. I don't know I think Ashley controls that, right?
Yeah.
If she
You
doesn't
can.
forget the password.
And then
All right.
send us an email and then click on the more on the Spotify. We're working on getting on Apple. But if you click on that more on Spotify, you can leave us a voice message on Anchor. We'll play it or listen to it.
We'll listen to you.
And talk to it, answer your questions or whatever you have. But that's a week, and
Try to get back to us before Thursdays.
yes, Thursday's when we record. And hey, like we always say, support small business. God bless. Peace.
Peace out. Sam.